for, oh, there we go.
Oh, hey.
Now you're the big one and I'm the little tile. That's perfect. Oh, I like your necklace.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. It's a gold American coin.
Oh, very cool. Lovely.
Thank you so much for having me.
No, oh my gosh, no, thank you so much for being here. This is so, I am a longtime fan. I have been reading, like, longtime fan. I've been reading these books for so long. So this is huge. This is huge for me.
For this also, like, I have this TikTok account. I don't know how to get verified. I don't know how to use TikTok. I mean, I am like a typical Gen Xer. I get on and I'm overwhelmed by all the content. So the fact that you and I have figured out how to do this is huge for me. So I'm grateful.
Well, I'm so excited too, because every time I talk about the BDB on here, there are so many fans that are like, no, wait, there are Black Dagger Brotherhood lovers on TikTok. Like, you're here, you're representing, you know, because there's such a huge fan base here. And it's so exciting to see and to be able to connect with people. And now I get to talk to you. It's insane. This is crazy. So, okay, we have so many questions. I'm sure you saw the comment sections.
Hit me. I'm like ready.
Are you okay? Is there anything you wanted to throw out before we get started? Otherwise, I'm happy to dive into questions. There were so many.
At me. Spare me nothing. I am ready.
Okay. Because everyone, oh my gosh, the questions, some of them were like super specific. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's incredible that you remembered that from that like one book. But anyway, let's start at a question. A mutual asked this in the comment section and I loved it because I thought it was so fun. But 60 books, 20 years, incredible stuff we're talking about, right? But is there a character you love to hate?
Vicious. Oh my God, that motherfucker is taking years off my life. So here's like, the irony of ironies is, well, so people who actually like know me in my real life, although it's a very small, because I don't leave the house a lot, very small number of people, they say that Vicious reminds me of them. And I'm like, I'm not like that at all. Vicious drives me nuts. He's gotten better over the years. But so the way it works for me is I have these pictures that like come into my head and I don't think up the books. I just record what I'm shown so that when people read my words, they can hopefully, if I've done my job right, approximate what I'm seeing. Mm-hmm. Vicious's book, Lover Unbound, was the single worst writing experience I've ever had because he doesn't want to talk to me. Okay. So like, literally the pictures of him and the storyline and the whole thing, I just, it was awful. And he even now, like his voice, like in the pictures that I'm shown of him, he just doesn't like me. And so the Passionflix film, Izami, is playing Vicious. And I met him this past week down in Georgia when I went on set. And Sia is like this resplendently beautiful man and the goatee and the dark hair. And when he put the diamond colored glasses on and the leather glove and everything, like he pretended to hate me as much as Vicious like did, you know? So there's this hysterical picture, which I'm going to put up online, of me like looking up at Sia, like, and him like, so it's absolutely Vicious. I love to hate. The other one, quite frankly, is Davina.
Okay, interesting.
I'm sorry, I'm going to curse. Blanket apology. She's a fucking cunt, but I love her in all of her cuntiness. Really bad. And so I would say that I love her. Okay. And she's in like, all right, so if you read Lover Forbidden, which by the way is coming out September 9th, and we can talk about that too if it comes up, of 2025. It got moved from March to September because we're going to do some really cool page effects. And then extended the production by 5 months. And then we want to do some really cool things around the Passionflix first series for Dark Lover. But anyway, so what the hell was I talking about? Help me out.
You're talking about how I'm going to be spending bucket tons on all these special editions that are coming out, and I'm super excited about it. Okay.
Badly because it like fucked people. Oh, so Davina. So Davina is in a very different place in Lover Forbidden.
Okay.
And very important role in the book, and I'm excited for people to see where she's at, and I adore her. I adore her. She's horrible and fabulous and ugly and beautiful and all of the things.
No, she's fabulous. But who talks to you the most? Like, who's the chattiest? Who's a yapper?
They all are.
Oh, except
fire of chaos in this. Like, you know, this is part of the reason why, like, I don't go to cocktail parties, is because I can be like sitting there and like someone can be talking in front of me and all of a sudden pictures will come to me, like, of the brothers and of the book that I'm working on and like the next thing, and I'm like, it's really distracting and stuff. So everyone talks to me very clearly.
Okay, except Vicious, which is notable.
No, he doesn't like me. So he lets me know how much he doesn't like me. I know that sounds great. Look, I know this sounds nuts. I get it. It's crazy. But I'm very certain that you have talked to other authors before and they have also been nuts.
I mean, I love it. Like, obviously, because this is just like, I don't know. It gives everything that I was kind of hoping you would be in real life and in person. So I'm thriving right now. Thank you so much. Okay, so there was something. Oh, you know what? Someone asked about the Passionflix characters. What do the brothers like that you talk to? What do they think of the actors portraying them in the series?
It's so separate. So this I guess it's like a fantasy. I don't know what it is. Is like it will intrude on real life, but it isn't about real life. Does that make sense?
Yeah, kind of. I mean, yes.
It's not like they're. I mean, they're people to me in that oh wow, we're getting into some really weird territory. It doesn't cross over for real life. There's no, like when people ask, like, are any of these characters, like, first of all, we don't use the C word in my house and it is not, we do not use the character word. And so sometimes when I talk to people, I'll use the character word and it always feels weird because they're not with me. But like, they stay, like that whole pictures and the books and that it's over here and real life's over here and it'll take over real life, but it doesn't cross.
Okay. Well, that's good. At least you have like some separation.
I can only imagine what they would say.
Okay. Well, then with characters, I'm curious because it's been 20 years, right? So like what characters when you started writing the series did you really identify with and relate to? And then has that changed for you at all? Like as you wrote more?
Good fucking questions, by the way. Really good questions.
Good. I'm glad. Good job, guys.
I think I think one of the reasons why the book so broadly appeal to people is because we can all find parts of ourselves in every single character, right? So we're the leader in our own lives. So we're like Wrath. And we can be the dippy, silly, eat too much, watch movies, outcome engineer like Rage. And there are parts of us that have been traumatized or injured. And I love you, bye. Sorry, my husband and my kid are leaving. Bye. And there are like parts of us that have been traumatized, like Zadist. And there are cynical parts of us that want to hide our tender feelings, like Vicious. There are parts of us who may have like physical challenges, like Fury. So to be honest with you, there's like Marissa, when you think she comes in this like incredible position of privilege, right? But she's so anxious and she's so worried and she like Butch getting to finally be claimed and finding a relationship is such a bit like Butch. We've all felt like outsiders, right? Like Butch and Beth are outsiders. Right. So I know this is like a sort of stupid way of answering the question, but I feel like there's a little bit of all of us in all these characters because for 20 years we're still talking about this shit, right? So it's got to resonate with all the different parts of people in general. Does that make sense?
No, yeah, 100%. I especially think too, because so many people comment and they say how they've reread the book so many times over the years, right? Like, I mean, some people are like annual rereaders, which is incredible. And I've reread them obviously a disturbing amount of times. So, I think, yeah, you find those little special moments through your life as you resonate with those characters and what they've gone through.
I also think like, and for you, with it being 20 years, I think like some of these are comfort reads for people, right?
For future people, for me, yes.
Yeah, and like I think that like and what's interesting is to like talk to all different levels of the fandom and readers, people who like jumped on board in the beginning and like now are at different places in their life. There are people who came along in the middle and were able to binge read the whole thing and got on board. There are new readers who are like reading it because it's like a classic series. And so it's really cool for me to talk to people like, oh, I just found you, you know, which is, and that's one of the cool things about the Black Dagger Brotherhood for me is that like after all these years, it still is getting new fans, new readers.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Especially, I always have to tell people, they're like, well, where do I start with the series, book one? I'm like, no, you don't understand. I don't make the rules.
Well, that's also one of the defects of the series, okay? Yeah. Defects is like if you look at Jack Reacher is the exact same person, like every single book. He doesn't, like his life doesn't progress. He like, so the external world comes into his world, he fucks some shit up, and then the book ends. And they're great books. So you can like read the 7th one and the 2nd one and the 10th one and the 1st one, and like it doesn't really matter. Unfortunately, with this series, like when you think about all the different, you know, it's like the King, right, is the successor to Dark Lover. And then Lassiter has another piece of Wrath's story in it. And then LW's book, when we get to it, will have more of Wrath's story in it. So it's like, it just keeps going and they're constantly evolving. So it's hard to kind of come in the middle. That's what
No, absolutely. And that's what I try. That's what I tell everyone. I'm like, look, guys, I'm sorry. It is what it is. Like, if you want to experience it, you got to start at the beginning and work your way through. They're like, oh, but what's your favorite book? And I'm like, no, that's not what it's about. Okay, but I do have a question because I did recently reread like the first 3 and I'm working my way back through. Something I noticed that you do, and I love it, is this juxtaposition of like something that's really funny and quirky. It's like Wrath being really big and butch and dangerous, and then you have George with it. Like, and I love those juxtapositions that you do. Is there one that you really enjoy that made you giggle when you added it, or like?
Oh, okay. Well, first of all, I don't do anything, so I'm just the secretary.
Okay.
I'm not even an administrative assistant. I literally am just a typist. I figure that if I'm laughing, right, and I do my job and I describe things correctly, then the reader will be laughing. And if I cry like during, you know, like my poor husband comes home, it's so beautiful or so horrible. So one of my absolute favorite ones, and I can't remember, it was one of the last 3 or 4 books, and I'm sorry that I can't be more specific, is when Vicious gets called into a meeting from being asleep, and he just pulls on some pants, you know? They turn out to be unicorn pajama bottoms. He goes in, and I love it. One of my other favorites were when there were a whole bunch of Brothers and Band of Bastard guys, and they're in the van with the windows up, and I believe it was Siphon who was behind the wheel, and someone puts a Jolly Rancher in their mouth, and then all of a sudden you're smelling the watermelon, and he like hits the brakes, and everyone thinks like, and they get out their weapons, and they're like ready to like go, and he's like, all right, who took out the Jolly Rancher, right? Turns and spits it out, except the window's up, right? So it's on the inside of the window, and they all go, ew. So I think it's like, some of the themes are really heavy, and some of the storylines are really heavy. And I think, like, you know, we've had some real hard times, you know, just around, just personally for me with, you know, my dog's brother died. Look, I know he's just a dog, but these are not just dogs to me. And I co-own his brother, and over the weekend, and it was just a tragedy. It was an absolute abject tragedy what happened. We're all brokenhearted. And, you know, even in the darkest moments, there can be these, not this particular moment, but like there have been times in my life where things have been going real badly because, you know what, this J.R. Ward shit is great. It's like pancake makeup and diamonds and jewelry and shit. But like, I mean, I'm like everyone else. Like, good things happen, bad things happen. And like in those worst moments, there can be these like humorous things that happen, and you are crying and then you're laughing, and it's all part of the emotional just being alive thing. And so one of the things I love is in these books to have those moments of humor, so it's not always so heavy. I mean, Zeta's book doesn't have a lot of humor in it, right? Because I was still a young writer figuring things out, but I think progressed. Just having those moments and there were a couple of moments in Lover Forbidden that just cracked my shit up. And I think it just helps, people, I don't know, get through the book sometimes.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I also think it's like those moments, everyone's looking forward to those moments, just those moments of comedic relief. Yeah. So I am curious, you know, beyond those kinds of like those funny little moments, are there any like witty comebacks or anything that the brothers have said that you were like, that shit's hilarious?
Oh my God. Inevitably, yes, there are many of those. And sometimes what I'll be doing is I'll be like sitting at the computer and again, all I'm doing is just transcribing. I'm literally like watching them. It's like having like a TV screen above you, and I'm watching and I'm just like typing as it's happening. And it'll happen on a regular basis that someone will say something stupid. And then one of my favorite ones, actually, and it wasn't something that was said, was they got Wrath a t-shirt that said, well, that was, you know, something, I'm paraphrasing now, well, that's fucking stupid on the front. And because that's like his whole attitude, right? Yeah. Robert Masser, who plays Wrath in the Passionflix thing, he's so good. He's so good. He really looks like it. And I got to watch like on the camera monitor as like part of Video Village. Like I got to watch the close-ups on his face as he moves and stuff. And he really does have this expression where that's really fucking stupid. And so, yeah, I know didn't completely answer the question, but yes, there are always witty repartees. I'll give you one.
Okay.
Dark Lover, when Tor comes up to Wrath and they start to get into an argument because Wrath is just like feeling really irritated that he has feelings for Beth and like shit's just not going his way. And he starts giving Tor a hard time about being, you know, a bonded male and having a shell. And while he's getting dressed up to go on this date with Beth, and Tor just looks at him and he's like, nice fucking suit. And I'm like, it's perfect. And they actually did it for Passionflix. That's the other thing that's great about it. I'm not shilling Passionflix like on purpose. It's just because I was just there last week and I got to actually see scenes get filmed.
Oh, I know. Trust me. I was following all of your videos. It was incredible.
And I have so much shit that I have to post. But one scene that they shot that I watched where it has Vicious in one armchair and Butch in the other. And they're and like Butch is like talking. It's when they're bonding over being Boston Red Sox fans.
Red Sox fans, yeah.
Oh my God. So like Butch is telling this like little story, and like at the end of it, Vicious goes through, and it's just and I'm like, oh my God, how are you like out of my brain and in real life? I'm sorry.
No, I'm so excited that like I don't know if it gets your stamp of approval. That's just all the more reason for the fans to be excited and for all the people who love the books to be excited, because Passionflix is known for doing like true and really representative adaptations.
That was one of my problems. Not one of my problems. I've been approached by people before who wanted to do the BDB, and you lose control in a lot of cases when you give your intellectual property over, and sometimes that's a good thing. Like I went really far up the process with the Bourbon Kings, for example, and Roma Roth, who does Virgin River and a couple of other shows, now owns the television rights to the Bourbon Kings. And she is going to be someone who's going to be faithful to the material, but particularly with the Black Dagger Brotherhood, because it's so beloved and because it's an ongoing series, I really didn't want to fuck everybody in the ass. And so I really went through the books and like we actually pulled out pieces of dialogue so that it's actually you're saying the words, and sorry, I'm babbling, but it's awesome.
No, that's honestly, we got so many questions about Passionflix. This is perfect. Like you've already answered like 16,000 questions that people had about it, which is perfect. Also, we're all very excited. Yeah, I'm so excited. We've been like, everyone's following. I keep getting people in my DMs like, hey, did you see this? This new photo just up. It's so exciting. And I mean,
Tosca thinks that she'd like to do the premiere in late May or early June. She says it's most likely going to be early to mid-June. And if so you can come to the premiere, you know, it's a thing, but like, I think it'd be really cool. I'm hoping we're going to be able to do is to watch an episode at the release of Lover Forbidden. So like, do the event that we usually do.
Yeah.
Have a screening,
Mm-hmm.
like the first episode with like maybe me and some of the actors and the audience watching it. I just think it'd be really cool.
Yeah, that'd be really cool. 100%. If that works, that'd be lit.
Yeah, I'd be so excited. Well, just because it's so, I'd like to also like be able to talk to people about like, I mean, well, anyway, I'm babbling, but it's been such a fucking cool thing.
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, the actors, they all like read the book and everything. Like they're all up to speed. Yeah.
Not just reading that book, but they're reading ahead, because so what's great about bringing these actors in now is that these are going to be the brothers who are going to go through the rest of the books. And so I was talking to Alex, who plays Rage, and like Yordi is like talking about the, you know, they use the term character, but like, you know, the next series is his, like he's going to be the dude. And Andrew, who's absolutely fabulous, you know, he's already taken loads of notes about Lover Awakened. You know, Sia is reading all the books, you know. It's really cool to see how much they're putting into it. I mean, they're really, and how professional they are.
Yeah.
Take on the script, it's so cool.
That's awesome. And that's so good to hear that, like, that's so good to hear. Like, faithful adaptation with characters that are representative, incredible. It sounds like a unicorn, and I'm so excited for it. Okay, let's get back to some of the questions. I just want to ask you, okay, so Caldwell, how did Caldwell adapt over, like, has it changed a lot from when you first kind of went there with the brothers to where it's become now? Like, as the universe has expanded and as you've gotten more stories, has it changed at all?
No, what changed it was the 30-year time jump.
That will do it. Yeah, in Lassiter.
Yes, because but even then, it's kind of like any city where it just, because that's what's really cool about it is, okay, first of all, it's taken 20 years for the books to come out, but the books have actually, up until the time jump, have only spanned a limited number of years. Like, you can actually add up like the months and into the years, like 3 years maybe. So there's not a lot that's changed. But yeah, no, so it's not a lot that's changed in that regard. But then the 30-year time jump, there's a little bit more of technology going on. There's like a change in the way law enforcement happens. There's, you know, but anyway, so yes, it has changed, but not because of the time I've spent there, but because of the time jump we made.
Okay. And then I'm curious, you know, just keeping track of everything, right? Like, you have the insider guide, I know, but like, is there a way that you keep track of everything?
Would you like some tea that I haven't really said yet?
Yes, please.
Fuck yeah. We are coming out with the second Insider's Guide. It's going to be a December 2025 release. It's going to have a big story about the brothers and Wrath and Beth and their anniversary night. And so it's going to be, there's a big story in it, and it's going to trace back over 30 years. You're going to get some background about what's happened in the 30 years. That's going to go through the anniversaries that have been lived by the original 6 or 7 couples. And it's going to all go around this night where Raph has a special surprise for Beth and how it all comes through. Because one of the things that I wanted to kind of, so these books, every book has like an actual bunch of plot lines. And some of the plot lines refer to other books that are coming. Some of them are books that happen in the past or things that happen in the past that are kind of finally coming to fruition. And that's like a lot of the world building stuff and the Omega stuff and Lash and Davina and right. And then there's the actual romance for that particular book. I never know how far I'm going to get with the sidelines or the stuff that's going forward until I get to the end of the book. These books are so big now, and the world is so big, and there's so many people. It's impossible. That's part of the reason why we had to do the time jump, is because the books were very sprawly. There were lots of things. They're still good books, but I wanted to kind of tailor them into an original, profound romance, and then also tie them to the original brothers, which were what people were really passionate about. So the Insider's Guide will have interviews with like LW and Cooley and some of the other young folks that are people who are the main couples. They'll have catch-up interviews with the original brothers. They're going to have these Agony Aunt column. I'm going to reprint a bunch of that stuff. They're going to have, freaking tips. A lot of the stuff that was done way long ago on the newsletter, kind of what I did in the first one. And then this big story. And it's going to come out right now. It's scheduled for December 2nd, 2025.
December 2nd. That's incredible. Okay. I'm so ready. That's incredible.
Signing for it and the whole thing. So right now it's Lover Forbidden will be the beginning of September. And then and this will be like the 20th anniversary, the second Insider's Guide, a second compendium comes out the beginning of December.
Okay. September. So we got, that's awesome. There's so much coming up this next year then for the BDB. It's like, there's so much coming. That's incredible.
Yay.
So
I totally sidetracked you.
No, sidetrack away, please. Like, let us, if you have tea, share, spill, I'm ready.
Well, because I was going to actually go and announce it like tomorrow, and I was like, fuck it, we should do it with Danny. God damn it.
Fuck yeah. Hell yeah. No, that's awesome. So, but I guess I do still have the question. How do you keep track of everything?
Oh, okay. So I don't. There have been one of the training center books, Butch dematerialized, and he can't. Mm-hmm. And I missed it. Mm-hmm. I don't know what I was thinking about. I clear, and also it went all the way through production, copy edits, first pass, my research, the editor, the copy editor, and it was just one of those things. So every once in a while there's a real corker. And at this point, it's, and we hate them, and it keeps me up at night and it drives me crazy.
Yeah.
So we have a Bible, and my research assistant, who is over in Scotland, he is a walking, talking encyclopedia of the BDB. And so all we can do is just do the best we can.
Yeah.
And just that it's as right as we can. And we get it right 99% of the time, but unfortunately, the 1% that we don't get right, it really eats away at the whole thing. But all I can do is the best I can,
Yeah, no, absolutely. And honestly, well, it's fine. Well, it never happened. Didn't happen. What are you even talking about? Okay, cool. I know there's so many questions. I'm trying to get to all of your questions. I promise. I'm working my way through. And then let's go to, how are you planning for the future, right? You have, everything that's happened, but do you have kind of a plan for the future of like the next few books, or is it still very much like they're just telling you their story and you just write it down?
No. So when I outlined Dark Lover 850 million years ago, when the dinosaurs roamed the earth, I had the first 10 books all in a row. I knew exactly the order. Zeus was supposed to be the last book. He was supposed to be the 10th book. And I was so terrified that no one would read these books and I'd never get to write his book. And I knew that I would never get over it. So I actually moved him from the 10th book to the 3rd book.
Interesting.
It was a 3-book contract. I thought for sure no one's going to read these books. They're too far out there. I'm going to get my ass shit canned again. And so I know that LW and Biggie's book is being kind of teed up. You'll see they're in a very different place than Love or Forbidden.
Okay.
Happen. But so there, and right now the series remains open-ended. Mm-hmm. I mean, as long as I'm above ground and able to, and people still want to read the books, I'm going to keep going. Because there's so many people that need to be paired up now. And there are also children of the brothers or the main characters that you all haven't even met yet. Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, no, it's always spooling usually 2 to 3 books ahead.
Okay.
But okay. LW and Biddy is going to be a huge book. And it's not the next book after Love or Forbidden. I don't see it coming for another 2 to 3 books.
Okay.
Because
hey, we'll take what we can get. We'll take what you give us, you know? Like, do what you gotta do. We'll be here waiting for Biddy and LW when they come out. But
because there are other issues that go deep into the world with him, and you get a hint of it in Love or Forbidden.
Okay. Any other little, like, maybe hints about Love or Forbidden? Anything else you're willing to share about what's in there?
I have to tell you, it really shocked me. I had an idea. I had a plan. So it is. So I have these pictures, and all I can do is just put the pictures in the right order so they make some chronological sense, and so that the emotional peaks and valleys kind of forms an exciting read. And I learned the hard way with Lover Revealed that if I try and Lover Revealed was the only time I've really ever gotten writer's block. The books were getting thicker and thicker, and it was causing problems with shipping because the boxes, they weren't fitting into boxes. And so I decided that I was going to be super smart, and I was going to condense a couple of scenes, and I was going to shove them all into like one chapter. And the voices in the pictures shut up. And I couldn't write for 2 days. I completely freaked out. And it was because it's their way or the highway. And as soon as I was like, all right, I'm just going to start writing as I meant to do, and then they picked up again. So with regard to Love or Forbidden, what I usually find is I do the outline based on the big pictures in my head, and they're like the big tent poles, right? It's like you're watching, like if you're putting up a tent, you've got these big solid things down the middle, and then these side riggers. And the side riggers swung around, and it's happened before, swung around on me, and the ending that I thought I was going to get was not the ending that we had. I mean, everyone still ends up in the same place. How we got there was very different than I thought was going to happen, because again, I hadn't seen the pictures yet. So I kind of fill in my own way when I'm doing the outline. And then when I actually draft, that's when usually it's the stuff that happens and comes to me while I'm drafting that's really the good stuff.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. I love that though. I love that, like, you didn't even know it was gonna happen, and then
it really, the last scene, like the last couple scenes of the book, I was like, oh shit, this is what we're doing. Oh god, oh my god, I don't want to spoil the ending, but the ending was fabulous. So anyway.
Oh, I'm so excited. I can't wait. I can't wait. Okay. Well, that's just another thing to look forward to. We'll add that to the something to look forward to list. Okay. So are there ever, when you're like going through, do you ever see any alternate paths for the characters, or is it usually just like one path? Like, have you ever seen a different path for a character?
I know it's really fucked up. This is what's really weird. These are great fucking people. You should be an interviewer. I'm telling you, you're actually really good at this.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
So I write the outline, and then I do the first draft of the book. And then during that first draft process, I will go back, okay? and I will smooth the chapters out, and I will go through it so that by the time it goes into production, it's in pretty good shape, and then I beat the crap out of it and copy edits. And what I have found during the editorial process is I will go back 150 pages, okay? And I will be so invested in working through a scene and making sure the words are right and the dialogue's right and the description flows and the pacing is correct and, you know, like all that cleanup stuff after you like lay your basic bricks down, that I will come to the bottom of a page and I will say to myself, oh, this is the dialogue that has to come in. And I will start to type the dialogue, and I will find that the exact dialogue is what I put in the first, like, I don't know if I'm explaining this correctly.
Like it was there at the very beginning and then it was modified out and now it's back?
No, that I will forget that I put it in 150 pages ago.
Oh, okay.
I will go and I'll be editing the bottom of the page, and then I'll hear the dialogue in my head because when I edit, I am really into the words, but I also always have these pictures as a reference. And then I'll come to the bottom of the page and I'll be like, this is, and then I'll see the dialogue and I'll be like, oh, this is the dialogue that goes here. And I'll start to type it on the end and it will flip on the bottom and the exact wording is right there.
Oh, okay.
And it's so there are no alternative endings or paths. There are only paths that I didn't see. In other words, for Love or Forbidden, for example, I knew that the hero and the heroine were going to end up together, and I knew how their conflicts were going to be resolved. I knew during this horrible moment, I knew what was going to happen to change the course of the tragedy. But when that moment happened, how it happened was something that I hadn't even, I don't know if I'm making my sense. We still get to the same place, but I had assumed that I can't talk about it without giving too much away.
Okay.
But like, so it's almost like, okay, so you know what it's like when you walk into a dark room and you turn a lamp on a table and you see the table and the chair, and then you go and you turn another lamp and you're like, oh wait, there's a pool table there. And then like click, oh wait, there's a pool table and a bar and a TV and Lassiter sitting on the sofa. So as I revise, it's still the same room, but I'm able to see different parts of it. Sense?
Yeah, I think that makes sense. I think that makes sense fully. But I will say, people in the comment section, I hear you guys, I hear you. Music.
Oh.
The music that you pick and that you put in there. How is it? Is that music you actively listen to, or do you research? How do you pick that music?
So most of it is rap and hip hop and R&B, and I was one of that first generation of white kids because I had a lot of I had some black friends growing up, and also you know, through high school, and then I went away to prep school, and I was exposed to that kind of music. It was the first generation of white kids who, you know, because rap was just starting to come out in the 80s, and it is not my culture, and I don't mean any cultural misappropriation. I understand, like, it's not my culture. I don't mean to take anything away from anybody, but it's been the soundtrack that I've listened to my entire life. And there are other, you know, some of the brothers and like Manny and like other people will listen to other kinds of music, but it's the stuff that plays in my car. It's what I run to. It's what I listen to. It's when I walk the dogs. And so it's just the music that I loved ever since I first heard it. I love it. And so I know having vampires that are hundreds of years old, like bumping to Biggie and Hypnotize in an Escalade in Dark Lover, which still Worship Me, Gentlemen, and I'll Let You Play with the Buttons is still one of my favorite lines out of the series. So yeah, it's what I listen to. It's what I love. You know, I'm just lucky that I have it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, absolutely. And it's what they listen to and it's what they love. So it gets put into the book, I'm sure.
Yes, and I gave poor Tosca. I gave her a 5-hour and 34-minute playlist off of Spotify, and it's rap and hip hop and R&B that goes all the way back to like the '80s and like all the way up to Bryson Tiller and Kendrick Lamar and all that stuff now. So
That's incredible. I mean, if you feel like sharing that playlist, feel free. That would be.
Yeah. I think actually.
Okay.
So what they're going to do is I said, Tosca, I'm sorry. Like I can't see a lot of like soulful, like, and not that she was suggesting this anyway, and this is not against anyone who likes this kind of, but like, meaningful guitar drumming, sensitive, like that's not what's in my head,
Yeah. No, I don't, no. I can't imagine. I can't see the brothers like, I mean, unless it was one of those comedic moments where all of a sudden class.
Right.
Yeah, class, and they're like, what? No, change it,
No.
Oh my gosh. Okay. That's incredible though. No, that's really good to know. I know a lot of people were very interested in the music that you choose and that is woven into the books, because it's a really fun element.
Our garage is underneath where the family room and the kitchen is. And so he says he always knows that I'm come home when he hears this stones coming up from the basement.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's awesome. That's pretty cool. Okay, so let's go to then, okay, we have probably about 15 minutes. So
and I can go over, my Obi is coming home. He's my big male golden retriever. And I got a new puppy yesterday, Jeremiah. And so Obi and Jeremiah are going to meet. He's going to come home around 7:15. So we have until then. And I'm happy to do that, but you're going to hear a bunch of thundering hooves and, so.
Sounds great. Let's just go. I want to make sure I get to as many questions as possible. And if you're willing to,
we can go past 7, and I will keep my answers focused, and let's do a flash round for the last 15 minutes.
Okay. Okay. Here we go then. Let's go. This is a question. Sorry guys. This is my question. I wanted to ask this. What's a line you've written and you were like, oh, that's a banger. That's a banger of a line.
Nice fucking suit.
Okay.
And I hate to bring it up again, and maybe it's because I just saw it last week. There are so many of them, and I will actually, that's a really good idea. Favorite lines. Maybe, you know what I might do? Courtesy of you, I might put a bunch of them in the Insider's Guide. How about that?
Would love that. 100% would love that. Incredible. Can't wait. Okay, so here are like some hyper-specific fan questions, if that's okay. Okay, here we go. What was the name of the castle Z was held in? Was there a name for it?
I was so focused on the mistress that I didn't even think about. I never got into the name of it. So no, I don't know what the name of it is.
Okay. In the Insider's Guide, the first one, Vicious says he knows more about her lie. Are we able to have any more details about why V is angry with her?
I can't. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm sorry. And in fact, I told Sia, who is playing Vicious, I let him into the lie. And I did tell him, because it kind of explains some of the things about Vicious's character. But I can't. I'm sorry.
All good. All good. Share what you can. Don't share what you can't. That's totally fine. We'll take what we can get. Okay. Will there ever be a Fitz book?
Okay, but here's the thing. I'm sorry. I can't see Fitz. I can't. Oh my God. I can't. Geriatric love. I mean, I'm sorry. Maybe if they only held hands. Here's the thing. The other thing is Fritz is so devoted to his job. Like serve his chillin'. So No, because I can't. I mean, for geriatric love, I mean, God love him, the Golden Bachelor, Golden Bachelorette, it's a thing, okay? But I just don't, I can't do that. I can't do it. He's like...
No, that's fair. Actually, there was a question, I think you'll like this one, because it was hilarious. I'm literally geeking out. And it's obvious, like, it's just a funny question. You don't have to answer. Does Fritz have kids, like twins? Lemon / Pledge or Pine / Saul?
Oh my God, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That is incredible. You know, he does not have kids, but oh my God, that is fucking awesome.
Isn't that hilarious? Whoever wrote that comment, props.
Whoever wrote that, you get points from me.
Mad props, because that shit was hilarious and I laughed my ass off. I'm glad you found that funny too. Okay. Okay. Will we ever know who Throw's sister is / was?
Maybe. Okay. That's a maybe. I can't predict that one.
All right. Does Zephyr get a happy ending?
Yes.
Lit. Is Pain going to be in any of the books moving forward?
She is in Lover Forbidden.
I love her.
On a very tangential role, but you're going to see her coming forward. I adore her. She's fucking fabulous.
Yeah.
She is the reason why George will never die.
Perfect. I love her even more than...
I do too, because we can't be losing any more fucking dogs.
No, I was about to say...
Well, we're losing the fucking dogs.
No, not the fuck. Look, I was about to say, everyone else, like, whatever. The fucking dog can't die. I actually saw a quote, like, Saba Tahir gave an interview, and she was talking about how there are a few things she'll never do in her novels, and one of them is kill a dog, and I was like...
So here's the thing, like, I wanted to watch House of Cards, that fucking TV show, right? And the dog dies, like, in the beginning, so I'm sitting there, so I had no idea, right? And I watched it, like Mad Max, Beyond the Thunderdome, like, no, Mad Max, the first Mad Max. My husband told me the dog didn't fucking die. The dog dies. Like, I actually go to that, like, doesthedogdie.com, like, and I will look up, like, is there a dog? Because Marley and Me, fuck Marley and Me. I am not. Nope.
I never watched it because I was like, no.
Do it. Not gonna do it. What was that Will Smith movie where it's like futuristic where the fucking dog dies? I can't remember what it's called, but I won't watch that one either.
Yeah. Someone mentioned John Wick when he goes on him.
Oh my God. So do any of you follow John C. Devaney, or I don't know, I'm getting it wrong, he's on YouTube and Instagram, and he does all this dog content, and he plays Jesus and like one of the angels, and they make dogs together, and John Wick goes up to heaven, and they're like, oh, okay, well, you know, and they're checking him in, and he's like, uh-oh, you killed 1,000 people, and Jesus is like, you're going down. And the angel goes, oh, wait a minute. And he goes, why did you kill 1,000 people? And John Wick goes, they hurt my dog, you know, they killed my dog. And Jesus is like, welcome to heaven. So I love that. Anyway, sorry.
No, that's amazing, because facts. I fully support that message, actually. Okay, back to it. Is Pain good? Will we see the next generation in the next books? I'm assuming yes, given what you've kind of said, yeah.
100%. So the first, after the time jump, after Lassiter, the first book is Nala and her, you know, Helrin, Nate, and then, and so we're going to start working our way through the kids who are now fully grown. These are fully adult people living their lives out in the world. And I just think it's really interesting. I don't want to get to a point where I don't write about the kids' books. It's not that I'm going to end the series, but you just, you know, I think it would be a real shame not to see the original brothers in roles as parents of older kids, and just it's a way of just closing things to make sure everyone's stories are told. before. I mean, I'm not going to be doing this when I'm 99, so I wanted to make sure I got this out.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I definitely think, I mean, we're also invested now in these characters, right? Like I want to know if there's more that's happening. I want to know, right? But someone did mention, there was a question about agony, pain, and will we see them? Will we see pain kind of return with?
Yes, you're going to see agony. You're going to see. I wanted to make sure that I showcased both the original brothers and some of the key characters from the core of the start of the series, all the way up, all the way up into Blay and Quinn and all that stuff, which is why Lyric's book is so interesting to me, is to see Blay and Quinn and Core and Layla and all that stuff. But yes, you're gonna meet Agony, and it's a whole thing.
Okay. And then Assail. How about
Assail and Sola? I love them. Oh my God. It was so funny. We were rearranging the basement where I have like 850 million books, and I was looking at The Thief and just kind of flipping through and remembering them. I don't know if you're going to see Assail and Sola.
Okay. Okay, fair enough.
But Eric and Eval from the Fallen Angel series, you're going to see them.
Okay. All right, I have one question. I'm sorry, guys. A question from me. If you could give maybe 3 to 4 words that would kind of describe this next era of the BDB and what you want to do with it, what kind of words would you choose?
Closure, happily ever afters, and peace.
Peace.
Because I just feel like after all these years, you kind of want to go out, not just like as a writer, but as a human being, as a mortal person who's going to drop dead at some point. You want to go out on a good note, right? Mm-hmm. And to me, a good note would be everyone is okay. Everyone is safe. Everyone's with the person they're supposed to be with. Their kids are okay. When I write the last Black Dagger Brotherhood book, may it be a number of years, 10 years from now, I want to close that series in a way that when you read the last book, you're like, everything's okay.
Yeah.
Like whatever, like trials and tribulations and drama and bad things and good things and, all the things that we go through in life ourselves, right? I just would like to close the book and have someone take a deep breath. It's kind of the way, you just want to, after investing so many hours and so many, all this enthusiasm into this, I just want to close the book and just be like, it's okay.
I have to do a puzzle piece to keep the live going.
Oh, okay.
So puzzle piece secured. We're good to go. Lives will keep going. I guess I was too inactive. I was not scrolling enough. Okay. All right. Cool. Well, yes, I hear you. Going out, not on a high note, but also like just making sure everything's concluded and beautifully. And obviously, we're all here because we love these books that you put out, and we're so excited about that. So whatever journey these characters have for us, whatever journey they have for us, we're here.
You don't want to fuck the, because the fandom. So there's the fandom, and then there's the readers. Okay, they cross, they intersect. But like some people read the books and they like the books, and some people are like fans where they want to like cosplay and they want to go further and they want, and I respect both sections and all the gradations in between. You want to leave all groups feeling like the investment and the time and the energy and the hopes and the dreams, it's all okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, absolutely. The clock in my background is done, sorry. That does beg a question. Darius, he is a huge character, even though like he's a huge part of the series. I'm curious, one, is he going to be in the TV show? Is that coming?
He absolutely is. And Tosca blew up a car. That's all I'm going to say.
Okay.
Is in it.
Okay. Okay.
We haven't announced his, like, we haven't done his character reveal yet.
Okay. 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 So something again to look forward to. More reveals to come. That's exciting. Okay. Love that. Okay. Let's go back to book questions, and then we do have a couple Passionflix questions I'll get to at the end, but I want to make sure I'm getting everyone's very specific questions. Okay, we did that one. Next Generation. Someone asked about seeing any more romantic scenes with Doc Jane and Vicious, kind of more like developing their romantic, like moments of them being together rather than just Doc Jane being a badass doctor.
Yeah, so that's part of the reason why the story in the second Insider's Guide, again, December 2025, absolutely. Because what I'm going to do is I want to take the original characters and I wanted to give each of them an anniversary night as it goes through the story.
Okay.
So there'll be one of them.
Gotcha. Okay, you did say that. Awesome. Well, I'm glad we get that from them then. Someone asked, are you going to Europe anytime soon?
I am the worst traveler in the world. I mean, like, literally, I was down in Georgia for like 4 or 5 fucking days, and I mean, like, I bought so much crap. So I hate airplanes. The joke in my family is, oh, it's just getting on airplanes now? And they were like, not unless your name's Tosca Musk, because I hadn't been on an airplane for, gosh, like 25, 26 years until I went down to Puerto Rico for PassionCon this year. So I don't know that I'm going to be able to get across. I mean, eventually I hope to get across the pond, but it's just, I don't travel well. And the other thing, for my schedule, I don't, if I'm traveling, I'm not typing, and, you know, it's a lot of putting out 3 books a year, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. And you have a lot of other things going on. You have a romantasy series coming out, right?
So the big 3 books for me coming up are Lover Forbidden in the beginning of September next year, and then Second Insider's Guide in the beginning of December, and then the Romantasy is going to come out in sort of early spring, I believe, in 2026. So it sounds like it's really far away, but it's like boom, 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 boom.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's a lot. And you're writing that whole time, I'm sure, just like.
The Romantasy, I mean, that's like a 750-page book. I mean, it's enormous. So part of it was a lag time, not with regard to Lover Forbidden, which was really about doing extra pretty things with like the papers and stuff. But that's what I've been doing for most of the last 6 months, is writing this enormous Kingdom of the Compass books, which has a title and everything. And we'll get into that later as we get further into 2025. You're going to hear a lot about it. And I'm super excited. Maybe we could come back and you and I could talk about that book.
Oh.
I could give you an early copy and we could do all this all over again.
I would love that. I would absolutely love that. I'm like.
Do you read Romantasy?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Huge Romantasy reader. Yeah. Yeah. And if you're writing it, yeah, I'll read Romantasy.
Well, you know, so the book actually is in revisions right now, and my research assistant, who's read every book that I've ever written, including the St. Ambrose School for Girls, which is he said if you read it, you wouldn't know that J.O. Ward wrote it, because it's got a very different voice. It's first person. He loved the book. It's, you know, and everyone who's read it, like, there's a scene at the end that really gets people in the feels. Huge. I was like weeping while I was like typing. So it's a very big departure in some ways from the Black Dagger Brotherhood, in that, you know, it's a female, first person female, and it's really her journey, her quest in her world. And really hot guy, really really hot man in it, which I'm super excited about. But it is a romantasy. It's not a Black Dagger Brotherhood book, but all the magic and the world building and the drama and the stuff, it's all in there. It's just the voice.
Yeah, well, I'm excited to see an exploration of that then, because I'm a huge romantasy reader. I read mostly like romantasy and fantasy and romance. So like for me, that's my and I mean, I've been reading the Black Dagger Brotherhood for so long. I'm so excited to see what else you have, and like your creativity in other areas too. I'm really excited about that. So, and how I love a fine man in a book.
I'm like, oh my God, he's a thing.
I'm ready. I'm ready. Okay. Okay.
Come on, Matt.
More to come, guys. We will be back. I will be interviewing J.R. Ward. Mark my words. I'm manifesting this. I will be interviewing J.R. Ward for the release of her romantic novel.
And you know, the other thing is like time goes by so fast. Like it's so funny, even though like I'm thinking about like also some events to do to celebrate the 20th anniversary of Dark Lover next year. And like, we also want to make sure that we give it enough time so we can get everything all ordered. And it's going to be here. I mean, first of all, we're essentially through the end of the year. I mean, we're coming up on Thanksgiving, then it's going to be Christmas, then it's going to be New Year's, right? So we're going to squirt out into the spring. It's going to go by so fast.
Oh yeah, 100%, 100%. I don't know why the song like "Time Goes By So Slowly" was just playing in my head, but it doesn't, because it's like the exact opposite. Like everything is just flying by right now, and before you know it, yeah, 2026 will be here. But we have so much to look forward to in 2025, which is exciting. I do have a selfish question though.
Hit me. I'm ready.
I have a whole series here on TikTok that's kind of my journey in collecting the Black Dagger Brotherhood books in hardcover. I don't know if you've seen the prices of some of those bad boys.
We just acknowledge that Dark Lover, the virtual signing for the hardcover re-release of Dark Lover, was a clusterfuck of epic performance. I want to thank everyone for being. So, I mean, first of all, the number of orders, we just didn't want to turn anyone away if we could possibly avoid it. Mm-hmm. Thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of books. And then we got screwed by UPS and USPS because the postage was printed out before 90 days. And apparently you only have 90 days from when you print it off. Anyway, we don't even, so yes, the hardcover. So I am going to be asking if we can do a Lover Eternal hardcover re-release. So I would like to continue to maybe once a year bring out another, because the Dark Lover prices for hardcovers were astronomical.
They were insane. And I luckily did get a copy from you of Dark Lover, so we're good there. But Lover Eternal happens to be my favorite, so I was like, are we getting that one anytime soon? And it's also currently the most expensive.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So that's like, so actually now that I think about it, I've got a meeting on Thursday. Yeah, I got to start moving on that. Especially because they are in theory going to start filming Lover Eternal next fall.
Really? That fast? It's going to be that quick turnaround.
Right now, that's the plan, is one a year, or depending on, I mean, I don't want to speak for Tosca. I mean, but right now she's thinking of Lover Eternal in sort of September. Yes, oddly enough, it's really fucking cold, okay, at 3 a.m. So they have been shooting, the first couple of weeks of shooting was miserable because they were outdoors doing outdoor shots at like 3 or 4 in the morning. And it was bitterly cold. So I think she's trying to get so that the weather's a little bit better too, because it was just awful. I mean, it was really hard on those books.
Yeah, I can imagine. But also, hey, that's good for us too, because that means the series is coming out a bit faster, which bring back the good old days of television when the series came out regularly. You remember? And it was like, anyway. Yeah. Anyway. Okay. So reprints sometime soon, crossing my fingers, hopefully, but definitely we have 2 books coming out next year, the release of Passion, the first season of the series on Passionflix. Can you, I know we're over time, but can you just answer a couple questions about the Passionflix series?
Yes, I can. And the dogs just got home, so shit's about to get real exciting. So Passionflix. Again, we're looking, Tosca is looking to release the first episode, do the premiere in late May or June. There are 5 episodes for the Dark Lover series.
Okay.
He's anticipating doing is like for the Lover Eternal series, there'll be 4 or 5 episodes. The episodes are an hour apiece or 54 minutes apiece. Her plan is to make the first 11 books over the next 10 years.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So I hope that she, you know, I would love nothing more because I love being on set. I love working with Tosca. I mean, I know this sounds Pollyannish, but I love the people there. I love the actors. The crew, like the crew is amazing. The actors have all bonded.
Yeah.
Like, really is like when you see them together, they're all like jostling each other, and it was interesting how for their audition processes they kind of are the brothers, like innately in and of themselves, you know. So they've been chosen with love, and they are putting everything into this, and it's been amazing.
Incredible. I didn't realize, I thought for sure the first 6, but 10, that's awesome. Or 11, sorry.
Owns the first 11 books, and so yeah.
Wow, we've got content for years. For years. Okay, so then, which actor did you have the hardest time finding the right like fit? Which
what's so weird is that like so they went through thousands of auditions, like, and I mean, maybe 1,000 auditions. So I saw their top 5 choices for each, because I had actor approval. So I saw the top 5. But I have to say, within that top 5, there was always a standout. Mm-hmm. Okay, we have dogs. You want to? Hi, Bear. Hi, Bear. Oh, Bear. Oh, you're so cute. Hi. Where's my Obadiah? Oh, she's my Obi. Hi. Hi, guys. Hi. Obadiah. Here's my Obi. Hi, my love. Hi, guys. Okay, we're still on TikTok. Hi. Can you take them out for? I got a couple more. Hi, my love. Oh, she's Obadiah. Baby! Hi, my love! Hi, my love! Say hi to TikTok! Say hi to TikTok! No! Obi, go with Auntie! No! Okay, hi. Hi. How are you? Sorry about that. So they had to go out to the farm. A friend of ours has a farm, and she takes the boys, and so that was them coming back in from the farm. And so I haven't seen him for 6 days now, actually, since I got home. So sorry about that.
Oh, wow. So that's basically years for them.
It's been years. So please excuse me. So there was a standout, and I have to tell you that from Beth and Butch, so the first actor we chose was actually Michael Rourke for Butch. Okay. He has the best accent ever. The second actor we chose was Andrew for Zadist, and the two of them had actually done some Passionflix projects before, and so they were not known quantities is like that's the wrong term for it, but they really, their auditions were so strong that we're like, oh, that's who they are. And then Robert Masser for Wrath was the next one that we picked. And then down the line from there. And Sia Zami was one of the last. V was one of the last ones. And his audition blew me away. Like, it was vicious. It was amazing. So, yeah, I mean, it was really clear, and fortunately, all of our first choices were hired, and the last one was Darius to hire, and then we had a wonderful actor who was going to do Rage, and then he had a conflict with another project, and then Alex hadn't auditioned yet for Rage, and when we saw his audition come in, no, I'm sorry, he had auditioned, and he was spectacular. And so I can't really even say that he was a second choice, because it was really just like they were right up close. And so it's the dream team.
Yeah. Incredible. Yeah. Especially seeing all their photos now come out of like them in costume. It's like all, because I was one of those people, I'll be honest, when it came out that they weren't casting twins for Zadist and Fury, I was like, how?
One of the issues about the reason why we didn't do twins for them was because it restricts a lot of what you can film.
Mm-hmm.
So part of it is the fact that you've got to film him and then film him. You know what I mean? And so one of the things that I'm learning is that so often when you're filming, no, honey, wait. When you're filming, you've got the camera on one actor and they run through the screen. Then they put the camera on the other actor. Hi, guys. Hi. And so it's not that it can't be done. Mm-hmm. You can't have them both at the same time.
Right.
And Zach and Andrew, when you get them together, look so alike. They have very similar features, but they're also in very different places. Like Zadist and Fury, I mean, like Zadist was kind of almost sickly, like lean in Dark Lover. Mm-hmm. And so they're twins, but they look very differently. Yeah. The way they act and the way they react makes them look dissimilar. Mm-hmm. There was one woman who did this wonderful dissertation on, as an identical twin, how different she and her sister are, even though they were identical twins. Mm-hmm. Their hairs are different and their styles are different, and even though the features are the same. So anyway.
Yeah, and 100%. Especially because I know I have friends that are identical twins, and I can tell them apart instantly, right? Like there are just things that are different about each one. And I think seeing them in costume definitely made me a believer. I was like, oh, okay, that's legit.
And that was so when we did the headshots of the actors and they were not with, we have hand done contacts. So they exactly match the colors in the books.
That's incredible.
Their hair done or cut. And these actors cut their hair, shaved their hair off, colored their hair, wearing wigs. I mean, and it was really incredible. Also just the size of them, like you can't really see the size until you stand next to them. There's a great picture of me with Sia, and I'm a really tall woman, and he towers over me. So I think it's fun. Sorry.
No, I'm so excited. And yeah, it's like they're all about the same height, right? So when you see them all together, you're like, oh, okay, well they must not be that tall, but because they're all the same,
they're big guys. They're big men. And the actresses, when you see them with the actresses, you can get a sense of the size, but it's impossible to get any sense of the size just without reference points.
Yeah, no, absolutely. 100%. I think, especially with like the photos coming out, and I'm loving seeing all you've been posting a lot of like just the background content and stuff like that with them, and like getting to see how they're bonding and the birthday parties and stuff. Yeah. And it's just been such a joy to watch, and like props to their marketing team, because it's like the way that they're marketing this and bringing all of the fans right along with like the way the film, like the show is being made. Amazing. Like,
and I'm supposed to go down in January, and we're going to do a behind the scenes thing. So we filmed the reveal of me meeting each one of the brothers in person, in costume, and we filmed each one of them, and it was the coolest thing. It was literally like Christmas in the sense that every time I came around the corner, it was like opening another present. The only one I couldn't film was Zetas. I became too emotional, and actually it was like, you gotta turn that off. So I'm going to go down in January, and Tosca and I are going to do some sort of sit down and chat about what it was like filming and casting and everything, all the things.
Okay. Well, another thing for us to look forward to then. There's so much. Okay, so the Passionflix this summer. September, we have Lover Forbidden. December, we have the Insider's Guide.
In spring comes the Romantasy.
The Romantasy. And then our interview, again, obviously, for that.
Coming back here. And this time we will be even more confident and comfortable because we know that it works.
Yes, we're going to be so coordinated. You guys aren't even going to know what's coming. It's going to be like, oh, wow, they figured this shit out finally. So, I don't have any other more. I'm sure everyone has a ton of questions for you, but we do have to cut this somewhere. So
I am so grateful. Thank you so much first of all, thank you everyone for all the support over the years. Thank you everyone for the kind messages of support with regard to Obi's brother. Thank you, Danny, for having me on. This has been super fun. And the questions have been really great questions and very specific. And I really loved it. And I want to come back and talk about the Romantasy with you.
Yes, you are so cool. Can I just say that? I have been geeking out this whole time. This has been such a dream come true. So thank you so much. I can't wait to talk to you more about other adventures. And yeah, thank you everyone for all of your questions, for all of your comments, for participating and contributing. So great. And we'll see you all soon.
Thank you.
Thanks guys. Bye.
Bye. Beer.